Well, Sharon, anyone who thinks bowl games don't matter didn't see this. What a celebration we just witnessed. What a game. The Gators, a dominant 41-15 win over the number 7 team in the country. You know, they talked all week about how much this game meant to them, and they played like it. Well, you know, Tammy, it's kind of a bittersweet thing, right? Yes, of course, they'd love to be home with their families at the holidays, but being good enough to play in a New Year's Six Bowl means being away for Christmas. So it's actually kind of a reward, and that's the way the team's looking at it, and they are ready to make the most of this bowl trip. Well, Tammy, in a word, confident, and you know what? Why shouldn't they be? I was at the Dan Mullen press conference this morning. He was talking about how big of a deal it is for his seniors to be playing in a bowl game like this for their final game as a Florida Gator. And he was also saying that bowl games like this should be the expectation going forward. And you know Florida Gators fans are just chomping that kind of talk up. Here, two men about as different as the colors maize and orange. I actually asked that question about the fashion, and wow, Jim Harbaugh could not have been more confused. So a guy known for khakis, not fashion. Dan Mullen, on the other hand, looking fresh in the Jordan 4. So if you're making a pick on this game based on the shoe game, John, I got to say, you got to go with the Gators. Well, John, talking to the team all week, it was pretty clear they really wanted this game. I mean, coming off a 4-7 season, didn't play in the bowl game. Your coach gets fired. You got to hear about that all offseason. So Dan Mullen comes in, and his words, restores the Gators standard, rebuilds the confidence of a guy like Felipe Franks. So Franks, the rest of this team, emotional, because you know what? It started all back in the summer. I remember covering the team during camp, and there was so much uncertainty about the season. So this game really the product of all that hard work. So for a guy like Felipe Franks, this was just the beginning. For Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, it's the end. And for someone like Ja'Kai Polite, well, he's unsure.
You know, it's just a great feeling, you know, tears of joy that, you know, I've always wanted just to be in the middle of confetti falling down on me, winning championships. And I think Coach Mullen's bringing that culture back to Florida.
We earned it, man. We deserved it. If you was on this team last year, you know what we went through. And we don't never turn it down, opportunity down. And we kept fighting. We proved everybody wrong, and we belong here. And you're going to see us there for many more years to come.
You had your helmet on after the game, emotional. You said you were crying. You know, what was going through your head? Why were you so emotional?
Because I was doing it with my brothers, and I don't know if this is my last one. Like, I'm about to go sit down and talk with my family, like, for this little break that we have, and see, like, what decisions should I make, what should I do. So, like, that's why I was crying. I don't know what's going to happen.
So Ja'Kai Polite still undecided about going to the NFL. Many of you might know his Twitter handle, @RetireMoms. He grew up Ormond Beach, right outside Daytona. He gets to the league. He can help her make that happen. So he says the biggest thing weighing his decision right now is he can come back to Florida, get even bigger and stronger, but he also said he could go to the NFL and do the same thing. So he's going to have to make his decision. The deadline is January 14th. And I asked him, you know, what do you think the ceiling is for this team, whether you come back or not? He said, I think they're going to keep it rolling. In downtown Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I'm Pat Welter, Spectrum Sports 360. Gators have lived for millions of years.
Not really sad, not really hanging my head down, but I'm more happy for the guys out there than be able to live their dreams out.
Randy Russell plans on being around for a while, too.
You know, me just having another day to live, me just having another day to work out and better myself and just be better as a person.
You'll see Randy on the Gators sidelines watching, cheering. Before this season, he thought he'd be playing like everybody else.
The process has been, it's been bittersweet, but for the most part, it's been, I gained a lot of peace in it. I would say, for one, my faith, has grown from that time, and that's what's kept me up.
Well, today it won't be diamonds, but it will be gold for Carroll City.
Randy grew up in Miami. He played safety for Carroll City and won a state title with the Chiefs in 2016.
For the first time since 2003, Chief Pride has a state championship attached to it.
It prepared me for the next level. You being able to play against some of the highly touted players across the country. Most of them that's recruited.
He enrolled early with Florida, ready to make an impact year one. Only a routine physical stood in his way.
Yeah, it was just a standard procedure. You know, everybody has to do a mandatory physical.
An electrocardiogram test showed an abnormality in his heart.
They said it was a thickness, but they wasn't sure how big, how large was it enough that I could play still. Then the MRI was pretty much, was the done deal that showed everything.
Randy had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a disease where the heart muscle becomes abnormally thick. Playing a sport like football could result in sudden cardiac arrest. He received the news with his mom in Dan Mullen's office.
I kind of sensed it when I came in. She was crying. It was like a serious, atmosphere. So, from then, like when she started crying, I just started crying.
Randy's college football career was essentially over before it had a chance to begin.
This will always be my dream, whether I play again or not. This will always be my dream. I'm still going to work towards it. I'm still getting better, as we speak now.
This season, Randy has focused on what he can do. The Gators have kept him on full scholarship. He helps at practice and with recruiting.
First of all, Randy is a guy that is involved. He's at practice. I mean, he'll signal. He'll be around, understanding calls, watching what we do.
I think he adjusted well. He still feel like he got a chance to play, and it's a very, very hard thing to go through.
Whether he plays again or not, Randy is ready for life after football. He's changed his major to health sciences and is taking classes for pre-med. Like a true Gator, he'll survive and thrive no matter what.
I haven't given up on that dream, but at the same time, I'm facing reality of what can be. It's a chance that I may not ever see the field again. It's a chance I may see the field. So, I'm just grateful to have the opportunity just to be able to breathe right now, to be able to work out, just do normal things, get back to my normal regimen.
Pat Welter's back with us now. Pat, obviously an emotional story. This must have been so hard for him, but what would have to happen for him to actually step foot on the field again?
Well, John, Randy has been granted medical hardship, which means he can stay on scholarship without counting against the Gators' 85 scholarship total. And he's right now getting his heart checked out every 3 months. And as far as playing again, the hope is that maybe his heart goes down in size. That's what would have to happen. And basically, he's waiting on a miracle. But he said faith is very important to him, and he does not want to give up on that hope. Now, he could get a defibrillator installed in his body, but that would mean he can't play ever again, despite the fact that that would actually help prevent cardiac arrest. So he doesn't want to give up the hope that he could play again, but at the same time, he's being realistic and he's finding other ways to cope. You saw in the story, he's helping out with the team, and he's also picked up writing. He said right after he was diagnosed, he started writing. He told me 10 words turned to 30 pages. So his plan is to write a book, and whether he plays again, he hopes his story can help inspire other people out there.